The hospital basement no one talks about. I never believed in curses. Not until I took the night shift at the oldest hospital in our city, Mercy Hill General, tucked away in a forgotten corner of Pennsylvania. It's one of those hospitals with a red brick exterior, crumbling plaster, and flickering lights that feel less like power issues and more like bad intentions. I was desperate for work. A recent nursing school graduate, broke, and with student loans already gnawing at my heels, I didn't hesitate when the offer came. Night shift, triple pay, minimal supervision. It sounded perfect. I didn't know the cost would be my sanity. Chapter 1. First night on the job. My first night was uneventful. The halls were dim, patients sedated, the silence broken only by the hum of machines. I was stationed on the third floor, mostly keeping tabs on elderly patients. But around 3:04 a.m., the hallway lights blinked, not just flickered. They blinked. A rhythmic pulse 3 times, as if something were knocking from the inside of the walls. Curious, I checked the circuit breaker room down the hall. That's when I saw it. A sign on a rusted elevator panel. Basement out of service. Do not use. The lettering wasn't printed. It was carved. Deep, jagged lines that looked like they'd been scratched in with fingernails. Something about it made me back away. Chapter 2. The nurse who vanished. 2 weeks into the job, I started hearing rumors. Whispers about a nurse named Angela who went missing 6 months ago. She was like you, new, night shift eager, said Harold, the janitor, who'd worked there for 30 years. One night they say she went into the basement and never came back. I asked why she'd go down there. He only shrugged. Curiosity, he muttered. That's what kills people here. Curiosity. Then he told me something chilling. The elevator to the basement? It still works, but only after 3 a.m., and only if it chooses you. Chapter 3. The man in room 309. Room 309 had been empty for weeks, sealed off after the patient inside passed away. But during one of my routine checks, I noticed something odd. The door was open. Inside, the lights flickered wildly. The bed was made and someone had written "Don't go below" on the window glass from the inside. I backed away, reported it to security. But when we returned, the room was locked. No writing. No sign anyone had been there. Security just laughed it off. You've been working too many hours. That night I dreamed of a man with empty eyes pulling me into a dark shaft. Chapter 4. Descent. I don't know what compelled me. Maybe it was boredom. Maybe it was Angela's unsolved disappearance. Maybe it was the elevator itself. How it waited for me one night. Doors wide open, humming like it was alive. I stepped in. No buttons. Just one. B. The doors closed slowly. As the elevator descended, the hum turned into static, then into whispers. They said my name. Chapter 5. The basement. The doors opened to darkness. The basement wasn't like the rest of the hospital. It was old, rotten. The walls were concrete, stained with black streaks that pulsed slightly like veins. There were rooms down there, operating rooms, obsolete, abandoned, with tools that hadn't been used in decades. Yet everything was clean, fresh. And then I heard the dragging. Someone crawling, slowly, deliberately. I turned and saw her. Chapter 6. Angela. She looked half dead. Skin gray, eyes black pits. Her nurse uniform was torn, soaked in something dark. But she smiled. You finally came, she whispered. They said you would. I froze. She reached out, her fingers impossibly long, twitching. They need someone new. I've served long enough. And then she screamed, a shriek that shook the walls and brought them to life. Faces appeared in the concrete. Patients, nurses, doctors, all screaming, all trapped. Chapter 7. The ritual room. I ran down endless corridors that changed behind me. Time didn't exist down there. Eventually, I found a room with a red door. It had a small plaque, Chapel of Bone. Inside were rows of seats made of femurs. The altar was a metal gurney soaked in blood. A figure stood behind it, wearing papal robes. His face was covered in gauze, but his voice was clear. The hospital feeds on fear, on pain, on those who enter where they shouldn't. Then he raised a scalpel. Your turn, Chapter 8. Escape? I don't remember how I got out. I woke up in a hospital bed surrounded by unfamiliar nurses. They told me I'd fallen down the stairs, that I'd been unconscious for 2 days, but I checked the security footage. It was gone. Every file from that night erased. And the elevator? Now sealed, welded shut. I tried to quit, but the hospital said I never worked there. Epilogue, it's been 3 months. I can't sleep. I hear the elevator every night at 3:04 a.m., even though I live 15 miles away. And sometimes I see Angela in reflections, in crowds, watching me, smiling. They say some basements are sealed for safety, but not this one. This one's still hungry.